Jones. We're racing all over the country this past week, and the CRA Series provided some exciting nose-to-tail action in Arizona. Here's Neil Cassabaum.
The 30-lap feature turned into a nose-to-tail battle between two drivers who have had strikingly different seasons. Richard Griffin started on the inside of the second row. He's been winless for the past 2 months, while fourth-row starter Leland McSpadden had 8 victories so far this year. But from lap 1, the gas man in his number 4 was on the point, with 91 McSpadden on the move to the front. Before 1/3 of the race was in the book, the Tempe Tornado was on Griffin's tail and applied all the pressure he could. Meanwhile, the duo of CRA defending champion number 11 Ron Schumann and number 47 Rip Williams worked together and owned the 3rd and 4th spots. Track conditions were excellent, and when the back markers moved low, the leaders went high with no problems, and Griffin's 8-week winless streak came to an end. McSpadden, Schumann, and Williams were 2nd through 4th, and Brad Knopfsinger rounded out the top 5.
Now, the world of Outlaws visited the Northeast, and the drivers from the Keystone State were determined to show the tourists just how to drive a sprint car. Here's Janet King.
Local drivers known as the Pennsylvania Posse held down 4 of the top 5 starting spots, with the outsider being Steve Kinzer. The king of the Outlaws in his familiar number 11 moved up to 2nd on lap 5 when number 69 Donnie Kreitz started to show his mastery of the Williamsburg Speedway. By lap 9, Kinzer was back to 3rd, and it took only 2 more trips around the track for leader, number 77, Stevie Smith, to become the 2nd-place car behind Kreitz. Everyone stayed out of trouble as they worked lap traffic for the next 18 laps, and Kreitz soundly defeated the Outlaw regulars for the 2nd consecutive week at Williams Grove.
After about 10 laps into the race, you had to be right on the inside because the inside groove really came in and started getting rubber down, and if you weren't there, you wouldn't go anywhere.
Kinzer finished a distant 2nd. Stevie Smith was an even more distant 3rd. In 4th, Keith Kaufman, and in 5th, Steve Smith. This is Janet King reporting for On Pit Road.
Now, meanwhile,
But started 8th in the 30-lap feature when the top 8 qualifiers lined up for an inverted start. That sat Joe Gertie and Kevin Huntley on the front row. At the drop of the green, Huntley of Bloomington, Indiana, hooked up solidly to the 21-year-old track and became the man to beat. And Shepard in 4N still possessed the secret to speed and blasted from his 8th starting spot to 2nd by the end of lap 8 when he passed pole sitter 5J Gertie. And Gertie's race to the rear continued when he gave up his 3rd spot to current All-Star points leader Frank Kerr on lap 13. There was only 1 caution flag when 14 Ricky Hood went off and hit outside of turn 2. When the last half of the race resumed, Huntley, who finished 3rd in All-Star points last season, again drove off from the other 19 competitors and cautiously worked lap traffic for a comfortable victory in front of a record I-96 Speedway crowd of 4,000.
We had a little trouble early in the evening. We broke a mag. The motor wouldn't run right. Marshall done a real good job of getting all that fixed. He got the car going really well. We got lucky. They drew an 8 because we qualified bad. We got to start on the front row, and that makes a real big difference running with these guys because they're all real fast. I had a little trouble with a couple of lap cars. But other than that, the car was really nice, and it felt good.
Shepard had to be content with 2nd. Frank Kerr finished a solid 3rd. Gertie was 4th, and Gary Fedewa started and finished in 5th.